allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. This is the public comment policy statement. If there's anyone from the public that wants to make a comment to the board, they will need to go over to the table there and read the script and then fill out the form to make a public comment. At the end, we will reserve about 30 minutes for public comments, but you only get 3 minutes to speak on your topic. The board will not respond unless the chair allows it. Okay. Next up, we have the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Then we have up Jesus. I'm gonna probably not do well on your last name, Palacios? Palacios?
Yep.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you. I
You-
appreciate it.
Yeah, and you've been with us for how long?
He started today.
Oh, today.
Oh, wow.
Wow, you didn't
Okay.
started yet. He just
Yeah.
got it. Well, that's the first part of the job, showing up. So, welcome.
Thank you.
You know, we meet on Tuesdays at 10. If you ever want to come and, enjoy us, or, you can watch us on the internet there too. I don't, I suppose you'll be on the third shift or second shift,
We're trained on both of them, so we don't really have a spot yet.
really? Okay, well, welcome again. Appreciate you,
Glad you came in.
being part of the team, so. Okay,
Thank you. Thanks for bringing it.
yep, thank you. Off to work. It's a long day. Yeah, take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Good luck. Okay, then we have Tyler Spetman. Good,
Yes, sir.
okay. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
You know,
How you
we're at 10 o'clock on Tuesdays if you ever get bored.
Okay,
And,
I'll put some time off and we'll come in already.
okay. And then you can always, rewatch it again on the internet if you want to.
Okay.
But, welcome to be part of the team. Glad you're here.
Thanks for coming in.
Glad you're
Thank
here.
you. Thanks for having me.
Part of the
Yeah.
bridge team,
Yes.
so you'll
Yep.
be at the Rock
Yeah,
Central.
Got lots of bridges, it looks like. So there'll be plenty of work for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting knocked out though, aren't we, John?
Yeah.
Slowly.
Okay,
Slowly but surely.
yeah.
It's happening.
You come from, construction background then?
Yeah, I did a lot of heavy hauling equipment, truck driving, things like that. I know how
Wow.
to run equipment, things like that.
Okay.
Bridge is gonna be a new sector, but I'm always learning, so.
Yeah.
So I'm just add to the list.
Not on the road no more.
Not for now.
Good.
Okay, well, again, welcome.
Thank you very
If
much.
you ever need
Thank you.
something, then let us know.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, next up, we have a discussion and or decision to approve and authorize the board to sign resolution 24-25 entitled "A Resolution Recognizing and Support the Deployment of the National Guard for Potawatomi County."
I'll make a motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
opposed?
roll call. Sorry.
Yeah, aye.
Supervisor Miller,
aye.
Supervisor Shea.
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen.
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman.
Okay, resolution number 24-2025, a resolution recognizing and supporting the deployment of the Iowa National Guard from Potawatomi County. Whereas members of the Iowa National Guard, including units based in and around Potawatomi County, are scheduled for deployment in support of Operation Inherent Resolve and the other overseas missions in 2025. And whereas these brave men and women serve with honor and distinction, protecting our nation's freedom and contributing to global peace and stability. And whereas Pot County recognizes the sacrifices made by these service members, their families, and their employers during times of deployment. Uh, And and these brave women, whereas these brave women serve with honor and distinction, protecting the nation's freedom and contributing to global peace and stability. And whereas Pot County recognizes the sacrifices made by these service members, their families, their employers during these times of deployment. And whereas the county is committed to providing support, resources, and recognition to our National Guard members before, during, and after their deployment. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Supervisors of Potawatomi County, Iowa, that the county expresses its deepest appreciation and wavering support to all National Guardsmen deployed in 2025 and to their families. The county encourages all residents, businesses, and community organizations to join in expressing gratitude and offering support to these soldiers and their loved ones. The county shall work in collaboration with the Potawatomi County Veterans Service Office and other relevant agencies to ensure resources are available to deploying and returning service members. Passed and approved on May 27th, 2025. Okay. Got anybody that wants to talk on that? Hopefully all of you will be able to maybe attend tomorrow's departure. 4 o'clock, I believe, wasn't it?
I'm gonna be there.
Yes.
It's at the Buminous Center. I think they're, yeah, and they're gone for just about a year right now.
Do we know if we have any employees that are going?
I asked and I never heard back.
I was told there's a couple from the roads and a couple from the sheriff's department. Is that true? No.
We have someone from the sheriff's department that was just recently deployed. I don't think he's going to this one. It could be related, but I don't think he's going on this send off. I think he's already there.
Okay, so we don't have any then. Okay. God bless them for their deployment.
There you go.
There's someone online that wants to say something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey guys, can you hear me now?
Name and address for the record.
Yep, this is Justin Schultz,
Oh, yeah.
23499 Chestnut Road.
Good morning.
Morning. Hey, just wanted to, send a huge thank you to the Board of Supervisors for doing this proclamation, the support for the Iowa Army National Guard. I know that they couldn't be there today. There's some things that came up, but this is a really big deal, and we really appreciate, what you've done, to support, our soldiers that are getting ready to head overseas for the next year. And, it's a really big deal to have the community rally the support like to have. So again, just want to extend my thank you to all of you and appreciate the support and everything you're doing to make sure that, our soldiers have everything they need while they're gone.
Thank you.
Justin.
Thank you, Justin. Have a good day, buddy.
You too.
Okay. Moving right along. John Rasmussen, engineer, and Brandon Burmeister, assistant engineer, secondary roads, open bids for bridge material for Washington 42 bridge replacement project.
Letty, recording.
Always helpful. Brandon?
Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon. You have bids from all these people, Brandon?
No, these are all the companies that we sent them out to.
Oh,
We received bids from 2 for beams, miscellaneous materials and piling, and 1 for deck. And the one of the bidders for the beams, miscellaneous materials and piling was after the cutoff date, so we will not be opening that.
You only have one for everything?
Yes.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The first one I got is for Odin Enterprises. Oh, you can do the talking now. I'll do the opening.
For piling. Their bid is $83,444.04. And they do have the required,
Roden Enterprises is from where?
Odin Enterprises is from Wahoo, Nebraska. The next is for Odin Enterprises for miscellaneous materials. Their bid for that is $35,040.40. Enterprises for steel beams. Their bid for that is $146,076.75. Last for the deck, we have Wheeler. Their bid for the deck is $140,050.
What's, where they from?
They are from Eden Prairie, Minnesota.
Were the estimates that you got on here, was that from the other bridge that was very similar to it?
Yes.
That we just bid out a year ago
Yes.
and the prices have gone up that much?
There's a little bit different materials on this one. The beams are a different length and a different thickness, so they weigh a little bit different, but it was based off of the last bid we did, yes.
Did Odin do anything with the other bridge?
They got the piling bid on the last one.
About $47,000 over your estimate. Not that huge of a deal, but
And like I said, we sent it out to all 6 of these suppliers and we got one back late and the other one.
I wonder why
the
they
rest were responsive.
did it.
Is this,
Oh,
does this have to be United States materials then?
no.
Does not. So, have these guys just holding off because of potential tariffs or something, or what? What's going on, you think?
I think this is a small project probably
This is a small project?
in their world, yeah. 12% higher than what you expected. All of this work for one bridge, or all of this material for one bridge? Yes. That the one that, that spans this is the Crest Bridge.
Yes, yes. Yes, it's on Dogwood Road. It's a mile south of the one on Elm Tree that we're
We got
currently
pictures from.
replacing.
Yeah. Okay. 12% higher.
So this meeting was just to receive the
Right.
bids. We'll bring it back next week for award.
Has always done work.
Yes,
You guys are satisfied with their work?
yes.
So, I mean, when you guys advertise this, I mean, you send it to a lot more contractors than these that specifically are listed here, right?
These are just material suppliers, so it's
These are the only material
only
suppliers.
material suppliers, yes.
And it goes on a DOT
Right,
clearinghouse
I was gonna say, don't
and
it go on the-
broadcasts. And anyone that's not on this list that's interested, we would send them They would
So
contact
of
us.
these suppliers, are there any of them from Iowa?
I don't believe so.
Wow. Yeah. DOT, they've been building bridges out there on Madison Avenue for what, 2 years now?
Those are concrete beams, so.
Like steel to me, but see them out and steel in the ground. Okay, we'll see you next week with those. Next up,
Thanks, guys.
yep, next up, we got, they're still here. John Rasmussen, engineer, discussion and decision to approve and authorize the board to sign resolution 27-2025 entitled resolution to set public hearing to vacate a portion of Harbor Lane for June 24th, 2025 at 10 a.m.
So move. Second. John, what? Oh, I had maps for you if you guys needed a map. I seen the map. The landowner just
Make my
requested
own.
a closure or vacation there. It's a short segment. Back to.
I would see the map, how far you want to cut it back.
It's not from this road.
What, explain it, what's the purpose? Can't.
The landowner's intent, I think is somebody's riding their mini bike up and down the road and they just want to close, but if they want to close, I think we should support that. It's a short segment, but every little bit helps, I guess.
Why don't we just vacate the whole thing,
There's houses towards the front there.
the driveway?
The landowner is requesting that
Yes,
the
the one
county
with the-
vacate the road that goes to their house.
Yes. The other two residents there have not requested that or have not been approached. I think if we give up the easement, I think those become landlocked. We have more to deal with their damages potentially, but,
How do you turn your equipment around?
right where we cut off, there's a field entrance there. You probably can't see it in the aerial photograph.
So those two fields that it's quitting in the middle of are owned by the guy that wants to vacate it?
Yes.
But why, oh, he can't, he doesn't have a turnaround up there at the property line then?
No, they don't. That's where the boundary pretty much came in, is where the field entrance. came
Is
in.
there a willingness for him to make a turnaround for us there at the property line?
Make that request.
I think that would be reasonable.
Yeah, if we got a turnaround there, I don't have any problem with that.
If they're opposed to that, you still want to move ahead with the vacation.
Say that again, John?
If they're opposed to moving that, is it all right to move ahead? Can we still have the hearing date? I haven't advertised anything. It hasn't been published yet, so we can make this adjustment. Still get it published and meet the deadline for the hearing. But
Sounds like we're making a permanent decision for a temporary problem.
yeah, they own all the property, I guess, so that's kind of theirs to request, I guess.
Just becomes a driveway.
Yeah,
Is there a culvert there or
culvert.
okay,
Over at the driveway?
right here?
Yeah.
It looks like a no-brainer. Plus, we gotta take care of.
Agreed, yeah.
I just think he should go to his property line and be done with it.
Then he becomes landlocked. He's got to do easement.
I didn't know if they're trying to keep that easement to that one property in case they want to develop it or something in the future.
But the one with the terraces?
Yes,
Well, I'm guessing he sold those other pieces off of, Haney Avenue,
Yeah, I'll bet he did.
so.
I'll talk to him about the property line there.
Motion in the
So the
second.
road ends at his house, right? Just to the north of the blue, where the blue stops.
It actually goes more towards his barn.
Yeah, it kind of stops halfway or 3/4 away to his barn from his house.
Where does Harbor Lane terminate?
It stops at that property line where the blue is. That's the end of it. It just stops.
A public hearing to vacate the whole thing?
All the way back to Haney.
Yep.
You may owe damages to those other two residents. I'm not sure if you give up the easements, they won't have access to their homes. So that property line seems to be about as far south as you can go.
Well. If, vacated the easements, let's just call it the property to the north, they would own half the road, right? And the property to the south would own half the road, right?
Yes.
So the only one that would be in a little bit of peril is the one in the end.
Right. You can only have two residences on a private lane. So then you'd have three. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Is there adjustments for that, Matt? Can you make adjustments for that? If it's existing?
Well, if you were to do that now, then, I mean, you would be doing something that's against the subdivision ordinance as it's written, so I don't think you want to go that far.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
I just asked that you talk to the property owner about making a turnaround for us.
Okay.
I think that's about what we need.
I'll
I'll stand by it.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman.
Aye.
Supervisor Miller,
Aye.
Supervisor Shea.
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen.
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 2825, resolution entitled to amend 2025 county 5-year program.
I like what you did with Tamarack there.
Yeah, so, going to amend the current county 5-year program we're in. You guys just got done passing the 26. What we're doing is there's 4 bridges there that need to be moved into the accomplishment year. Washington 42 was a truss bridge, which is similar to the one. It is the one that we're getting materials for today, similar to one we just finished. So that bridge work will get completed or started at least before July 1st. So we're trying to move that in the accomplishment year. Lower down, there's 2 other projects. We moved Tamarack up. We had it as an illustrative project. Fiscal year 30, we're gonna move it to 26. We changed the funding to farm to market roads. So kind of, we've been building up a balance not a balance, we're almost a year ahead now on the farm to market. So we can borrow 4 years or be 3 years ahead. So we're moving some of those monies up to do Tamarack and kind of changing the project. Originally, we had a program to reconstruct it for 20 million. We're just going to resurface it for 5.5. So it's not the repair we'd like to make, but it's gonna get us another 10 or 15 years down the road, hopefully.
John, how thick would that be? 4-inch then?
We're gonna take off 2.5 inch and put back 3, so about 5.5 total on that one. So that'll get us down the road there. I was kind of building that balance as our kind of our inflation insurance policy, but we're gonna move that up and use it. The other project that moved was the L-34 reconstruction. Federal aid funding for that was programmed at 3.6. We got 2.27, so I reduced that amount so it matches the transportation improvement program for the DOT. Kind of different numbers there. I think that project will probably be moving back a year soon. It's some discussion on moving that one back just because the funds aren't available.
That, that Tamarack. That what happened, I don't know, 10 years ago? That, you just resurfaced it?
Yeah, I think it was 2006, we resurfaced that, or 2008, somewhere in that era. Yeah, we resurfaced that and widened the shoulders.
What are you doing then? What are you doing here?
We're gonna do a partial depth recycling, so we're gonna recycle the 2.5 inches of what's there, then we're gonna put 3 inches back.
What are you doing what are you doing for the shoulders?
They'll just be gravel.
They're not extending the width of it any?
No,
Which you done that last time.
we did the last time we put 3-foot widening units on it. It was a 9-foot shoulder, so we had up to 12-foot lanes.
Okay. Will we use any of the asphalt recycle the edge?
No, all the asphalt, we'll pick it up and recycle it in place. So
Okay.
they grind it, pick it up, heat it, add oil, and lay it
Okay.
back down. Is the hope anyway, then depends how they bid it, but that's the intent. They'll do that without trucking it off, which the trucking beats up our roads more, right? So try to recycle that in place, then bring in 3 inches of new to cover it.
We don't have any idea. Traffic on these.
I mean, we have a traffic count, but we still haven't got updated numbers since 16. This is a interstate detour, so once in a while we just get interstate traffic on it as well, so we get those surprise numbers. Yes,
Didn't realize it was labeled that. Or is that just hybrid?
I think it's signed that way. It happens anyway. I think there was some snow or something close to the interstate and they tried to run Tamarack as well, so. Whether we have signs or not, it happens.
You'll why I don't get that.
John, you said you're taking 2.5 inches off, putting that back, and then going 3 inches above that?
Yeah.
3.5?
3.
3. Okay, so 5-inch overlay.
Hopefully that keeps those cracks from reflecting through for a while anyway, but.
Okay.
The original project was take the base out. Till we do the base work, we're always gonna have those cracks reflecting through.
Yep.
We have to get to the bottom of it and we're not capable of saving that much money
You
to
know,
do it.
it'd be great to redo the whole thing, but 20 million's a lot.
Timeline?
Oh, we had a lot of the design done because we wanted to do it this summer with local funds and the price got out of hand for us, so it's mostly design. So as soon as this goes in the program, that'll let us start developing it. The 6-month development schedule at the DOT, so hopefully we can let it in January or February of this year for construction next summer.
Curious on asphalt pricing. Is it up, down, back? What?
Really I haven't had any bid experience. Have you been watching it at all? We haven't bid one for a while, so. The bridges came down a little bit, so I'm not sure if everything's coming down.
The bridge north of Neola,
Which one?
the one going over the railroad.
Tamarack.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to speak to that one or no?
I can. So we had McClure come look at it, give
Okay.
us some alternatives. We were gonna try to do an at-grade crossing, but we had to have alternatives with cost estimates. So I think they came up with 2 different alternatives plus an at-grade with costs. So I have a letter out to the DOT just to talk to them about what they like to see before we talk to BNSF about an at-grade crossing there.
Okay.
And if there's any potential for that. Anything you'd like to add, John?
No, so we're kind of working on, we want the at-grade crossing, but we realize they're not going to give that to us. So we're costing out what it's going to build, what they want us to build and costing out what an at-grade crossing is. And eventually we'll probably be in a hearing on it, honestly. I don't think,
So they may just build the bridge back when it got put in. I mean, they don't want to signalize it, is that what the deal is?
right, they're gonna wanna overpass like they have now, but we can't build to those standards anymore. I mean,
Right,
yeah, so we're gonna have to, do you remember the price difference between the two alternatives? It was,
1.5 million versus 10.5 million.
so,
yeah, no
yeah,
doubt
there's
about it.
there's a 10 times multiplier on there to build what we have to build, or they want us to build. So
How we battle that.
we're progressing, I guess.
There's not that much train traffic on there at the present time. So if we go to the Federal Railroads, keep have discussion.
Well, we've got at grade crossings all the way up to there
Yeah, there's one right there in town.
and Underwood and all along there. And all of a sudden, and it's a low speed rail too. It's not a high speed. Guys don't go very fast on that track.
I don't
Watch
take care of it very good.
No, that's why it's low speed.
So it's in development, I guess. We haven't landed on,
Well, I hope you get at grade. I just think that'd
Well, I
be
think
the way
if
to
it
go.
was signalized, I mean, traffic's gotta be higher on that other one in town there than that one, I would think, so. I don't know. I still need a motion and a second on this.
I'll make a motion to approve the 5-year plan.
Second,
Discussion.
Thanks for moving that Tamarack up. I appreciate that.
They'll just go faster. No other discussion, roll call.
Chairman Belt, Supervisor Jorgensen, Supervisor Shane,
Aye.
Supervisor Miller,
aye.
Supervisor Wickman.
Okay, Paula Hazelwood, CEO, Advanced Southwest Iowa Corporation, and Cody Forstall, President of Travel Holdings LLC. Discussion and decision for the board chair to sign agreement on North 16th property.
Paula,
Hi, good morning.
Cody. Sitting way down there on the end, trying to get out of the heat.
Yes.
Good morning. This is Cody Forrestal with Trayville LLC. As you know, we've been coming in and talking to the Board of Supervisors on numerous different occasions regarding parcels of land that you own on North 15th, North 16th, and Trayville's interest in potentially acquiring that. So we have a purchase agreement that is currently in front of you. And we're hoping today that we can finalize and move forward so Trayville can continue their pursuit.
And I have reviewed the proposed changes that Trayville made from the last conversation that we had, and the changes are in line with what the board had requested from the last time. So I don't see any issues with it.
You send that to her, Kristen?
Did, and it should be in your packet. There should be a clean copy as well as the marked up copy in the packet. I sent it to Jeanette last Tuesday.
I don't have any issues with it at all. Paula, do you have any issues with that?
No, sir.
Cody?
Looks good.
I'll move that for you,
How
Scott.
long,
I'll
did
second.
how long did we make this for?
There's 1 year after it's executed
Yep.
to make a decision. And I think 30 months after
It-
that
Extension.
to develop.
30-month extension.
To develop.
Whose discretion is
Supervisor
30
Belt.
months?
Um,
General
So
agreement between us?
I think it's just from
This agreement that we're
signing.
approving today is for, good for how long?
1 year.
1 year.
Oh, so I'll see you back in May next year, huh?
Hopefully not.
No.
I know,
Don't
hopefully.
see.
Hopefully, we'll be able to come in and give you some good updates.
Yeah.
So is
That's the
that,
plan.
we will continue to maintain and take care of it until that point next year.
Until something happens with it, yes.
Okay, so is it just 1 year we have on the farmland? So we would have to tell them this September.
Mhm.
So that causes, is that addressed in here?
Yes.
Okay, so how do we gonna go forward in September?
We just send out termination of farm lease in September. We do it for,
We don't want to terminate because there's a deal. Who are we gonna get to come in and farm?
we wouldn't have to terminate it. We
No, I
could,
know,
ask him
but then
to-
they have to honor it till the following September.
yes.
Is that written in there?
I don't believe that specifically is, but that's, I mean, that's the way that
Well,
the
you
farm
need
leases work.
We're gonna have that, need to have something like that in there until they harvest. Unless they're gonna pay for the crop.
That part is in there, that the,
They will pay.
farm
for the
lease
crop.
stands or any damage to the crop is.
Yeah,
paid
if
for.
there's crop
Yeah.
damage, exactly.
Okay. How about our water feature? The hay and trees.
It all.
Wow. Okay, so got a motion,
Have a second.
who's second?
Me.
Shane.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you.
Supervisor Bell, how do we go about getting signatures and copies?
My signature, I'll sign it here in a little bit, and Jeanette should be able to give you copies sometime today, I would think.
Okay.
Unless Cody wants to sign it now.
I didn't, well, those have to be notarized.
No.
Not for.
See, Cody can sign this and leave it with, Jeanette if he wants, and then she can let you know when it's been signed.
Perfect.
Sign now.
There's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go ahead and go out there and have Jeanette.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're
Thanks,
welcome.
Cody.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Paula.
it.
Thank
Keep
you.
us keep us posted. I got my fingers crossed.
Thank you.
We have Walmart to go over there and pick stuff up.
That should be in there.
Okay, Amber Moore, Boca Main Street Inc., discussion and decision to approve funding.
Hello, thank you
Hello,
for
how are
seeing it.
you?
I'm also accompanied by Sabrina Lewis. She's treasurer of our board of trustees, board
Great.
of directors, and also chair of our design committee. And you know her also from the library. We are just here for our annual request. We would like to have $3,000 of support for our general operations of our Main Street organization. We focus on the cultural, social, and economic development of our downtown district, our historic, economic area, and in order to keep a thriving community in Avoca.
Where does that funding come from?
Come on, Amy. I thought we did this at budget time, didn't we?
We accounted for it during the budget.
That's what I thought, okay. Yeah, for some reason, it just
I'll make a
seems
motion.
like you were just here, but maybe
I'm always happy to do that.
the years fly by, I guess.
April a year ago.
Was it April?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll,
okay.
I'll second, in the
Okay.
amount of $3,000.
Okay. That's what we budgeted, right, Mitch?
Yep.
Any other discussion? Anything else you want to tell us?
Have your farmer's market started yet?
They're starting June 2nd, first Wednesday of June through the end of September.
Okay.
So very soon.
Fast. No other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you for what you do, ladies.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Now you just gotta get the DOT to fix your exit out there.
I'm glad that's outside of my district.
Outside your district.
Yes.
Does the city not go on both sides of the exit, don't it?
I couldn't speak to that. Like we are confined to what Main Street I is a design.
Right,
for the
down
historic
in
district, but
downtown there, but I mean, the
Yeah.
city of Boca's on both sides, I think, of that exit.
It is,
Yes.
yeah, the city
That-
does.
I mean,
go
that
up the
thing's-
county line.
Tough shit.
Yeah.
The amount of traffic that goes through that interchange.
We both have young drivers and my standard reply to them is like, just plan for everyone you see to make the
Yeah.
first decision of their life.
Well,
On
especially
that
for the
road.
trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't see it getting any better.
Amber, with the water restrictions, are your Main Street businesses impacted?
They are greatly impacted, I'm sorry to say. It's mostly our restaurants, so our coffee shop, bakery, Casa Mexicana, and our 2 taverns. The taverns have been less so because they don't run taps, but our bakery, I mean, we had 2 days where there were 0 customers at our full-service downtown restaurant, and that's never happened before. So I know that customers are shy despite really good communication from our businesses and what they're doing. And I will also want to applaud our businesses because they individually reached out to the health inspectors to find out what all of their services should be limited for the time being. And, you know, some of their suppliers, like Cisco, has been donating water so that they can rinse their dishes and not have to boil for anything other than like dishwater. And then they can use, you know, donated water for all of their purposes. But they've been at 20% or less of their normal business since the boil order was initiated. And that's a great impact on the size of business we have. So we're anxious to have that lifted once everything tests all right and have our customers come back downtown and so continue to support them.
We haven't lost water in the last few days, have we?
I haven't heard about any water losses since the first week.
Yeah,
So
It's been 17
sound like the
days.
it has been 17 days. Yes.
as much as it could.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you for asking.
Were you on? Oh, no, you weren't. There was another call this morning with,
10 o'clock.
emergency management.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think our last one, the tanks were up to close to 40% of capacity.
Last I heard was 25%, so that's good that it's building up. Yeah, I know, we all know individuals who are working really hard, you know, just there's buckets in every place that has a tap, so you can use that water later in your toilet tanks. However, you can reduce the use. I think people are really doing their part, but it has made customers shy of going out for restaurants and drinks.
Get through.
Okay. At least Mother Nature's helping us at this.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Have a good day. Pat Wyatt, Director of Planning and Development, discussion made no decision to approve adding 110th Street from 105th Street to L34 to the Buminous Road classification and to sign resolution 26-2025 entitled Resolution for Establishing Official Bituminous Roads.
That just wasn't official before, correct?
Correct. This will add 210th Street onto our resolution list of official bituminous road classifications. And I did add on just kind of as a background, as a reminder to the board and everybody that by officially designating these as official bituminous roads, then that is a commitment from the county that the road service is going to remain bituminous and or better into the future so that development can happen on those roads out there. And we were reached out to by the property owners that have that corner property on L34 and 210th Street in order to kind of divide up their bin site and the home on that property. And in order to do that, it would need to be official bituminous roads. And so we also included a map in the staff report to you that kind of shows you the length of 210th Street coming north from Badger there. And I don't know if that's Badger, I guess that's might be a different one. Might be worth. But the stars on those parcels in there highlight the sections that have further development potential on there once this is done. Because another change that we made in 2015 to the subdivision ordinance was if a road does not follow that section line and it kind of runs cattywampus across one, you get benefits still on both sides of the road. So you can do, it would be up to 4 lots on each side of that road that you could potentially divide off as home sites that kind of run up through there. And since it crosses 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections in that manner,
So if somebody were to, those property owners were to come in and they wanted to do minor subdivisions along there, then they could do minor subdivisions on both sides of the road. They have shared access drives and things, so I think it'd be a good addition for our official bituminous roads in that area. And it'll allow that property owner on the corner of L34 and 210th Street to kind of accomplish what they need to accomplish.
Do we need to have any kind of a special hearing or anything on this, man?
Just this right here to add it to the official bituminous roads.
Is that your recommendation, man?
Yes.
So,
I'll move that.
I'll second.
so, who requested this, Matt?
The property owners, Larson Wonder Valley Farms.
Okay,
That, I don't know if that's an appropriate name, but it's something close to that.
absolutely, okay. Okay, any other discussion?
This is for the purpose of residential housing development, is that what?
Potential.
Potential.
Matt, just real quick, I was at the Trainer Optics Club meeting last Saturday, and some of they're representing Vision Trainer. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
What they're doing in Trainer, I think is tremendous.
Mhm.
They're looking for more development out there. And I think the other communities in the county ought to take a look at that as, using that as a template, how they can develop more development in their communities. Yeah, hats off to Vision Trainer. They really was impressed with what they're doing.
I agree. That really came down to the success they had with that subdivision that they added on. They were able to recruit in those developers. And when you can recruit in a developer into the area that they have not been in, and they work really well with that government entity, I mean, you do see those subdivisions flourish out there. And that's kind of exactly what happened in that Trainer subdivision.
There's
And
gonna be more housing development.
right. Mhm.
So is 210? Is that the road down to the shooting range?
No, the shooting, that's I think 208.
208, okay.
That 200, if you go past my house on 205th, you keep right on going. Don't turn on Badger, don't turn,
Just keep going.
it turns into 200.
Oh, it does? Okay. Roll call?
Supervisor Wickman, did you make the motion?
Yes, it.
Yeah, Wickman and then Shea seconded.
All right, Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisor Shea,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen.
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman.
Aye.
Supervisor Miller.
Aye.
Okay. Becky Lennon, Finance and Tax Officer, Auditor. Discussion and or decision to reappropriate funds for Public Health Department 23 to WIC Department 48 and to sign resolution 25-2025. Hey, Matt, regarding said reappropriation.
Good morning.
Morning.
We have worked with Matt, Maria, and Chris,
Would.
Mitch and I to, come to this conclusion that the, WIC department is going to go over their budget. We need to do a reappropriation for, $60,000 to ensure that the WIC department does not go over their budget. I am aware, and I know it's very confusing about their fund going in the red. This is their budget and their service area, and that is what the state auditors look at. That's what they pay attention to. And that's what will cause write-ups is if a department goes over the budget. So that's what we're trying to.
I know there's some discussion, Maria, help me out with this a little bit, that WIC will become, part of Potawatomi County Public Health.
WIC is a part of public health.
Well, there's funds
Just has a
always,
separate budget.
right, okay, so that'll always happen that way then?
Yeah.
So we'll see them in deficit
The
a lot.
The WIC grant, I just want to clarify that the grant still has funds in it. It's just the county budget. And, basically what I did is I moved it in line with what we do with the rest of our grants. That when we get amendments to our grant, we bring it before the board. And so now we've gotten another $100,000 amendment from the State Department. It's just past the amendment period, so I can't necessarily bring that to you to increase the budget. So what we're doing here is moving it over from public health budget.
WIC isn't, they're not paid by us, are they? They're not on our payroll.
They are.
She's on our payroll. Chris is. So,
Pass through.
so with that being said, I guess I didn't realize that was a grant. So who was paying, how was the rent being paid, or how is the rent gonna be paid for them to occupy our public health when they were paying rent over at the Omni Center?
It's just invoiced back to the grant.
So do we have a rent agreement with them or something? I don't know how much space they got.
We figured out the amount of square footage that they have in there, and there will be a lease agreement that gets signed between the two entities, so then that way you can bill it back to the grant contract for that amount, and then that becomes money that goes into the county general fund.
So is that something that Jeff, shoot, what's his last name that comes and does the
Lorenz,
Yes,
yeah,
he's
the
looked
rents?
at that and met with Matt for you.
and he's given us a breakdown of, what do you call that, like billable?
Right.
Federal indirect rate.
Yeah.
So it should come down to, I don't know, a square foot cost or something. I don't know what she had over there. I mean, is it 2,000 square foot? Is it? I don't know. But now she's been occupying this for how long now?
We will boil it down to that square footage amount for you to see what that cost is.
Well, I didn't see today. Are they in the red today or color are they in?
Yeah.
They're back in the red.
Yeah, we just got out of the red forever and now we're back in it.
It is an adjustment for us. The majority of our state contracts run from the same fiscal cycle that we're on.
Right.
The WIC fiscal cycle runs on the federal fiscal cycle, which is that October to October. And so not having that announcement from the state that, yes, you are getting this next $100,000 to inject into your program, really kind of threw things off this year. I mean, the answer, and so Chris looked back over her emails last year to see when did that announcement come last time? And last year it came a month and a half ahead. So there's just, during this, I mean, obviously there's some transition at the federal level and some things going on. So it was just one of those pieces that we got it a little bit later this year. And while there's still money in the WIC contracted budget, it's not reflected in our county budget. So this is just a tough.
So how much total would the WIC budget be with this new 100,000?
I believe it'd be right around the 9.
Almost $1 million?
I didn't bring it in front of me.
It's almost $1 million.
Yeah, almost.
850,844.
Right, so that's
That's
$100,000 to that.
Matt, do we bill them for us paying out for them?
Yes.
Okay. That charge of the money?
Did you get a motion on that, Scott?
I have
I'll
not
give
yet.
you one.
I'll second.
So, they got this money before the end of this fiscal year. So who knows what, but the money comes through the state of Iowa, from the feds to the state of Iowa to us, right?
Correct.
So, like you mentioned a little bit ago, we don't know what's gonna happen with some of these federal programs, the way they're looking like.
From what we've been told on this program is that they have about a 6-month time period of money at the state level. So if there's a decision
At our level,
at our level, so if there's a decision at the federal level, something that would affect it,
we got
then we got a little bit of a cushion,
an umbrella.
yeah, to make our changes.
If they have a 6-month supply of funds, why don't they pay us quicker?
The state State. The state has more than a 6 month supply of funds.
I can tell you our billing is, I mean, we have sped up our billing immensely, and it's just a matter of making sure you bill, and then you sit there and you wait.
And we just run in the red a lot, so. Yeah,
So how many counties is she serving?
It's,
6? So assume hopefully she's taking the message out to those other counties. At least their board of supervisors of the, what to prepare themselves for in the future possibly.
if she reports back to all the board of health in each of those counties.
Okay, they all have their own board of health. Okay. So do you guys convene then as a 6 county board of health ever?
No, individually,
Just individually?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, roll call.
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman.
Aye.
Supervisor Miller,
I,
Supervisor Chang.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Becky.
Becky, thanks.
Other business, Matt Wilbur, he left, and Kristen Bracker, attorney, discussion and decision to approve and authorize chairman to sign employment agreements for Chief Information Officer David Bear, Human Resource Director Jana Limerick, Buildings and Ground Director Jason Slack, Chief Financial Officer Mitch Kay, Planning and Development Director Matt Wyatt, Administrative Veteran Services Officer Peggy Becker, GIS Coordinator Jamie Peterson, Director Chief Medical Examiner Investigator Cody Payne, and Engineer John Rasmussen.
Do all of these, did all of these include a 3.25% increase?
Yes.
so all of them did, except for we have one change from the Veterans Administration, but I would prefer to go through them one at a time to approve them all individually. That works, and we can discuss that when we get to Peggy's halfway through. The rest of them were the numbers provided by Mitch and Jana and the board based on our last conversation from the study session a few weeks ago.
You want to go through them individually? What's the board
We don't have
want to
to
do?
individually go through each contract. They're all very similar.
I think, I don't even, not opposed to that. I think that there's one thing that's not in the contracts that I would hope or wish that all these folks would do, would by the 1st of July, give us 3 goals or objectives they would like to accomplish next fiscal year. It's just me.
Make it through the next fiscal year.
Well, I just think that they need to have some.
I really don't have a problem with any of these. I think we got a good team in all of them and respect each of these department heads. I would make a motion to approve them all.
I would, there are a couple that I'd like to see separated. So I think that I did hear from the VA, we should at least consider that. And then, if you would amend your motion, Mr. Shea, to approve them all with the exception of, Peggy, the VA administrator and the engineer, I would second that. Talk to them separately.
Brian, if you would amend your motion to pull out, Peggy Becker's, but approve the rest of them, I would second your motion.
I will do that.
Well, I'd like to vote on one separately, so Guess I'll vote against it.
So we have a motion by Shay and a second by Susan Miller, to approve and authorize the chairman to sign employment agreements for all those except for Administrator Veteran Service Office Peggy Becker. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Think we'll do a roll call.
Chairman Belt,
Nay.
Supervisor, Supervisor Shane,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen,
Nay.
Supervisor Wickman,
Nay.
Supervisor Miller. Aye.
Motion doesn't pass.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve them all with the exception of our VA administrator and the engineer's contract.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
So there'll be a separate motion to talk about Peggy Becker's and a separate motion to talk about the secondary roads.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman,
Aye.
Supervisor Shea,
Nay.
Supervisor Jorgensen,
Aye.
Supervisor Miller. Aye.
Motion passes.
I'll make a motion to approve the Peggy, or the administrator for the VA and ask if their board member here would like to make any comments.
Do we need to vote on the remaining department heads that we were, because we pulled out the two, do we need to?
You've got a motion on the floor
For Peggy's.
to
Oh,
approve. Go ahead.
well, we need a motion to approve those others that we haven't, the two we haven't just discussed. Or is that?
That's what we're doing now.
I think you've got to act on the motion on the floor.
Well, you don't have a second.
So Jorgensen,
No, we already voted on
For
that.
all of the department heads except for Peggy Becker and John Rasmussen.
Okay, so that is,
Yep, so then
okay.
next, I think
Okay.
it sounds like we're gonna work on Peggy's next.
okay.
And just to be clear, the contract that I sent over includes the salary amount that was recommended by the Veterans Affairs Commission. So if they would like to speak now about their recommendation.
But you still need a second.
Did I say? All right, I had go ahead. I was informed that there was some discussion at a VA meeting. They were considering increasing the salary of the administrator, another $2,500 over and above the 3.25% we've given everyone else in the county. And, I spoke with Veterans Board Member David Hazelwood on that. And David, do you have any comments that you would like to share on that?
The commission, again, I'm David Hazelwood. I'm a commissioner for the Veteran Service Organization here in Potawatomi County. We would like to retract our employment agreement that we submitted as a commission in the total amount, which included reference to Supervisor Wickman stating the additional 2,500. We would like to move forward with the administrator's base pay plus the 3.25% COLA only.
That clarifies it.
I'm lost. So the contract we have in our packet doesn't have the recommendation that the Veterans Board is approving.
It has the recommendation that I was sent over, but it sounds like that is now retracted.
Correct.
Okay.
So on paragraph 3, that salary should then probably say $74,081.88 instead of 76,581.88.
Correct.
Correct.
Does the contract need to reflect longevity?
No, that's just basically, it's just.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Do we want to move to amend the contract on the table to reflect that new amount?
All right, let me amend my motion to say that approve the contract of the VA administrator with a 3.25% increase.
I think that's fine.
I'll second.
Discussion? Paul?
Chairman Bell,
Aye.
Supervisor Miller,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman,
Aye.
Supervisor Shay,
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen.
Next, Scott, I would make a motion to terminate the contract of the engineer effective June 30th and put him on administrative leave until June 30th and post a position.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
I don't think that's a great idea at all. I think our engineer has done an extraordinary job of managing the roads and the budgets and the employees, and I just don't think that a termination is validated at this time. If there's been specific instances, they're not documented, they have not been discussed. Just don't think it's the right thing to do, and I speak strongly in support of our roads engineer, John Rasmussen.
I'll second that. I think John does a good job on our roads. There's a lot of management out there, a lot of people, and I think he deserves better than that.
I have
I
discussed.
want to just say, I want to jump in. I appreciate the complimentary things. I just want to make sure that John is understanding. It sounds to me like you're moving into evaluating his professional competence. He would have a right to request a closed session, if it could create damage to his reputation for this discussion to take place in public. I just want to make sure that John knows that. If he's happy to have this discussion in a public meeting, that's fine. But if he wants to request a closed session, if you're going to get into a critique of his qualifications or his job performance, he has the right to request a closed session.
The only thing I would say is that I do not want to get into a performance evaluation at this time. I just believe that we need this county to move in another direction, in a different direction. And I'll call for the vote.
Well, there aren't a lot of engineers out there. I think we've got the best.
Chairman Bell,
Aye.
Supervisor Shay,
No,
Supervisor Jorgensen, Supervisor Miller,
No,
Supervisor Wickman,
Aye.
Okay. Update on board members on committee meetings for the past week.
I attended the Southwest Iowa Children Retention Coordination Committee meeting. Just business is there, busy. they're still doing some hiring, so that's going forward. Also, I attended the airport authority meeting. Cascos Airport Authority is in order to become the very important regional airport. They've got some updates they're going to be scheduling, also some improvements out there. Anyway, great people. And just real quick, I'm a member of the American Legion trainer. Really appreciate being part of the honor. Some of our cemetery yesterday honors going out with family members, appreciate it.
Board Trails meeting, the Southwest Iowa Drug Endangered Children Coalition, a good class there. ATV Trails. Visitor Bureau was canceled, and then I went to another ATV trail meeting.
Yeah. Susan?
I also attend the DEC coalition training last week. Whitco, Golden Hills, and one of the EMA regional water updates.
I was at the Western Region Conference, last week. It's pretty interesting in the sense that, this power issue that's stopping the growth and economic development in the states is, not just unique to us, but all across the Western region. They're going geothermal, nuclear, solar, wind, batteries, for storage. I mean, so we're fortunate. I mean, they're talking because our grid systems are not connected. The chances are whatever you want to call blackouts or going dark, which when you go home one day and you flip the lights and they don't come on, we're all gonna wonder what happened. And especially out west, they are really more about property rights and what people want to do with their property. So a lot of their ordinances have been taken and tested in court, not lasted, because they say, well, you can't have solar, or you can't have wind, or you can't do this. And of course have ruled in the landowner's favors that they are entitled to do what they want with their land, as long as it doesn't directly impede on the person next door. So they started down the road with, whether it's cattle farm or pig farms or chicken or whatever, how close they can be to this and that and such things. And it was a pretty interesting conference, to say the least. But energy, with the way our world is going, is very critical with these mining, whether it's crypto mining or these data mining, and it's just power. Hopefully we can keep power reasonable so that people can continue to have power at their houses. We don't need our utility bills to go up whatsoever. But these other competition are gonna pay what they pay, and we'll end up having to foot the bill if we don't watch what we're doing as far as economic development and that such. So other than that, I guess the recording will end. Now is the time for public comment. We will discontinue the live broadcast from the advice